Watch. Now, so this one you got two vectors. Okay, now y'all be sure to watch this. This is a complicated problem. They did not give us an example, anything like this. Okay, so they give us two vectors, but notice what the I component right there is unknown because it's just X. All right, and so what they want us to do here is find out what that value is. Now they do tell us this, that the magnitude of V plus W is equal to 8. So what we basically need to do, V plus W means we add the vectors together, don't we? And then these symbols means that you find the magnitude. Okay, so y'all help me put V and W together. All right, so V plus W here would be equal to, all right, we'd say what, 4i plus xi, so it would be 4 plus xi, right? See, I'm adding the components together. And then the other part here, the other two components, negative 2 plus 8 would be 6. So it'd be plus 6j. All right, now did y'all follow that? I just added the two vectors together. So the way you add two vectors is you just add the components. Only thing is what? We didn't know what this one was, so it left it unknown there. Now, it says that the magnitude of this v plus w vector should be equal to 8, right? So let's figure out how would we find the magnitude of that, all right? So the magnitude of v plus w would be equal to what? The square root of 4, a squared plus b squared. So 4 plus x quantity squared plus 6 squared, which would be 36, okay? So there's the magnitude of that vector, right? So this would be now the magnitude of v plus w. Now, what are they saying that the magnitude of v plus w should be? 8, right? And so now we have basically right here is an equation to solve. Okay, now let's see if you guys can kind of help me figure out how to solve it. So it's a square root. How could we get rid of the square root? Yeah, square both sides. All right, so we would get 4 plus x quantity squared plus 36 equals 64. Okay, now you notice that it's going to be a quadratic because it's going to square this one. Now remember how to expand this. You can say 4 plus x times 4 plus x and follow it. All right, let's do the shortcut. What? Square, square, twice the product. All right, so it would be 16 plus 8x plus x squared plus 36 equals 64. Okay, now let's gather some terms together. Now, since it's a quadratic, we need to set it equal to 0. All right, so let's put this one first. So that would be x squared plus 8x. Now, 16 and 36 would be 52. But then you would subtract 64 over there to it. So help me out. What would be 52 minus 64? Negative something. Negative 12. Okay. Equals 0. All right. Now, chances are it's probably not going to factor. All right. Factors of 12 that subtract to be 8. No. Okay. So what are our options then? All right. Quadratic formula. Okay. Or you could complete the square. All right. Let's just do the quadratic formula. All right. So x would be equal to, all right, the opposite of b, so be negative 8 plus or minus. Now I want somebody to calculate the discriminant for me. Now remember what, b squared minus 4ac. So that would be, punch in your calculator as I say it for me. 64 minus 4 times 1 times negative 12. 112. okay, over, all right, 2a, which would just be 2. Now, I need to simplify. All right, what'll go into 112? I think 4 will. How many times? All right, so 16 will go in there how many times? All right, so 16 times 7, so that would be 4 square roots of 7. So we get -8 plus or minus 4 square root of 7 over 2. Now we could reduce it. All right, so that would be what, -4 plus or minus 2 square root of 7. Did y'all follow that okay? All right. And notice when it's going to ask the question, it's going to ask for all the solutions. So there's 2 of them right there. All right. Now, and even though we squared both sides, we're supposed to check for extraneous solutions. But because we're squared right there, nothing's going to come out negative and be extraneous. All right. Now, let's see if that's actually right. All right. All right. Separate it with a comma. Yeah, so that kind of gives you a hint that there should be 2 answers. So let's see. Now cross your fingers. Okay. -4. All right. Plus, let me switch it over so y'all can see what I'm doing. All right. Plus 2 square root of 7. All right, comma. And a -4 my, whoa, minus 2 square root of 7. Am I punching it in right? Does that look good? Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna submit it and see if I got it right. All right. Yes. So let's see. Yep. Yeah, I want a little pop-up that says you are the smartest man alive, you know, when it does that. That makes me feel good.